Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Reign of Darkness. I'm AC Gamer, and tonight's episode we're going to be talking about this game a little bit, doing a small little review on it. Now, it is early access, so it still has a very long way to go. The potential is there. I keep kind of wanting to come back to this game and play it, but can't really do that just yet. Now, I got this game as a gift from a very good friend of mine, Nonal03, so I did not have to pay the $20 that most of you guys will have to pay if you want to get into this one. With that said, the very first day that I got into it, it was broken. It would not allow us to see group members. When it did allow you to see the other group members, you couldn't actually group with them. The mobs will not attack, or at least they weren't doing that at the time that we got the game. You can see right here I can attack the monsters. Nothing happens. I can run into a dungeon over here, and it's sporadic. Some hours it works, some hours it doesn't. It really is just kind of all over the place. With that said, the game is enjoyable when it works. It just doesn't work very often. Now, the problem that I have with this game, we're going to start with the negatives and then we're going to work our way into some of the positives, is mainly the community, the GMs, the people who are hosting or taking care of the Discord. If you make any sort of comment that they see as negative, i.e. the game is down for 37 hours while they're working on it, or why can't I group with other players, or why is the game not allowing me to attack other monsters, doesn't really seem like you're being too negative in my opinion. But if they see that as a negative, which they do, because we've had 6 or 7 of our guys come in here and start playing, all of them bought the game themselves, and each and every single one of them has been banned on Discord by Depressed Cat for stating the obvious, stating the game isn't working at the moment, asking why there hasn't been that much communication between the dev and the community, and for the audacity of questioning that, you get banned. You get banned, and I would not be surprised if your character would eventually be banned in the game. It just kind of seems like that kind of community is what's running the server. Beyond that, they've already done one of the, in my opinion, fatal mistakes when it comes to an early access game that isn't finished yet, right? We're giving it a little bit of a pass on some of these things because it isn't finished. But not only is it not finished, they're already selling items in the cash shop. So now you can not have access to the entire game after you paid for it, the entire game that isn't finished, and you can spend more money on the unfinished game. Of course, the one answer you get from all of these people is that it is to support the publisher, right? Help the publisher finish the game by giving them more and more money. Now, there is always the option to donate to publishers, give them money directly in the hopes of making the game better and finishing the game. But to add in a cash shop in a game that isn't done, we've seen many times as gamers, and that is almost always used in games that are a money grab, ways to take as much money from the player base as humanly possible and never finish it. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be the case with this one. As I said before, we will get into the positives because there are some positives to talk about it with this game. But the negatives at the moment are absolutely outweighing the positives. If I was going to recommend whether you should pay $20 to buy this game or pass on it, that hands down the answer would be pass on it. Stay away from the game until they finish it or until they get closer to being a playable game. Right now it is a broken mess of a server. No communication whatsoever, to be honest, between the dev and the player base, except these very wonky statements that really kind of come across to me and pretty much everybody I've talked to as I'm aware of the issue, but I don't really care. I'll finish it when I finish it. It doesn't come across as super professional or that invested. And then, of course, if you do, like I said before, make any statements whatsoever that are negative, not only, like I said, will you be banned, but you'll also have your statements deleted, so they won't be on there anymore for other people to see. So it's all hunky-dory, it's all beautiful on the Discord, rainbows and sunshines, and you won't see anything negative. The other thing about this game that is kind of messed up is if you do try to group with your friends, some of them will actually be able to attack things. Like right now, I can't hit anything. We're running around. You'll see Flip right here in front of me running in a circle. Sometimes he'll actually move. Sometimes he's just stationary. He's able to group with some people on occasion. But then the people he groups with, it's like just a RNG kind of chance whether they will actually be able to hurt a mob or not. And so it kind of gives you hope that it's fixed, but not really. And then like you keep coming back in thinking, well, maybe I'll log out, log back in. So it's teasing you with its workability, which just kind of drives you even more nuts because you want it to work, right? You want a game that you paid for that has promise, that has really quite beautiful graphics set up with it. The gameplay is actually fairly enjoyable, even though it still needs a lot of work. The mobs you see right here or below us or anywhere in the game, they don't actually have a path to them. They don't move around. They don't kind of stumble through their environment or make the rounds around a camp or something like that. They just stay exactly where they're at. Now, that's not a hard fix to do. We've seen that in other developers. They get to that eventually. But as it stands right now, all the mobs do the exact same thing. Now, they will aggro onto you. They will social with other mobs so that you can get groups of them, especially when you get into the dungeons. And some of the named creatures in those dungeons have multiple spells. They actually have a strategy to them. So, like, again, you can see the potential in it. You can see where it could be going at some point down the road and how intricate it could be. But it's not even remotely close to it, and it's not really worth $20 in the state that it's at. Some of the other features you may recognize is, well, basically, if you've ever played Diablo, you'll notice a lot of similarities between that and this game. It has the potions, the health potions, and the mana potions. You can even get ones that are a combination of the two, just like in Diablo, and they will regenerate. They will slowly fill back up over time as you use them. How often you can use them kind of depends on how strong they are. The skill system in the game actually is really, really cool. You have points that you get every level, 2 points per level, and you can put them into up to 3 different skills, 3 different classes. So right now I've just gone down the sorcerer skill and a little bit into the necro skill to kind of give myself a few buffs. And I've had a lot of fun with that. I think the sorcerer skill is like really good DPS. Some of my other friends have gone like the priest and the archer and the barbarians. Like I said, when it works, you can get a lot of enjoyment even though the game isn't finished. It's the parts of the game that are broken that really detract from that. So with the skill systems in place, the different inventory items that you can get for your character, the fact that you can change your attributes pretty much however you want, whenever you want. You can lower those points down and raise them up. It does cost you a little bit to reset your points in your Necronomicon, but it's not that much, and so it gives you a little bit of play. So if you're like, I want to go down this route, I want to go down this other route, you have the ability to do that pretty much at will, as long as you grind out a little bit of gold, which isn't too easy to get in the game. That's another cool thing I like about the game. I do wish the leveling system was a little slower, although as we have gotten a little bit higher level, we've noticed it slowed down quite a bit. So maybe the first 10-15 levels are pretty quick. Like in most games, the first few levels are pretty quick, and then it will slow down dramatically afterwards. Can't really say that for sure because, again, the game's just not working on a regular basis or even an inconsistent basis. It really is completely and totally random. The hour of the day and the day that you log in. You see right here in front of me, there is a guy fighting a bear, and on his screen, it might be working. He might actually be able to attack monsters today. My screen, it's not. Most of the friends that I have playing this game, it is not working on their sides, except sporadically. So take that for what it is. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you can kind of make up your own mind whether this is something that you're going to want to play in the future. As it stands right now, you can't stress it enough. do not plop down the $20 for it. I know you're going to want to support developers that you see as having that potential, but in the end, from what I've seen with all the years of gaming and all the videos that I've reviewed, and you guys can go through the entire list, there's thousands of games that we've gone through. Almost always you will get burned, and your money will never give you the satisfaction that you could have spent on a game that's already finished. Now, I realize this game is being done by a single developer. Yeah, a lot of people are stating that on the Discords, coming to the defense of people who were saying negative things before they get deleted about how it is a single developer doing this all on his own. That is obviously a choice on his part to do it that way. He could hire more people if he wanted, if he had the money. Obviously, he's making a little bit of money off of the sales from this game. But more than that, there have been numerous single developer games out there that have done it all on their own and not had any of these issues. So that is not a defense worth even considering. That is just something to be aware of, obviously, but not a defense. That's just the fact that he says he's been working on this for 8 years. I don't see it. I don't see the 8 years of work. Maybe it's been a dream of his for 8 years. Maybe he's been thinking about the game for 8 years, but I really don't see more than a few months of work put into this game, if that. I've seen people build games a lot quicker than this one and didn't have any of these issues. So take that again for what it's worth. I just wish it was working. I really do wish this guy success. I hope that at some point he works out all the kinks and this game can be what it was meant to be. 8 years is a long time to have that dream alive. I wish him the best, but at the moment right now, guys, I cannot support the game. I cannot say that you should purchase it. It's just not worth the money. With that, again, thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments below. Love to get some interaction between you guys in the community. Promise we'll not delete any of your posts. That's not the way we do things here. So negative, positive, constructive, non-constructive, leave the comments below. Till then, guys, have a wonderful night and keep on gaming.